More violent clashes have erupted on the streets of Hong Kong. Student-led election reform protesters again are confronting police, even as the talks with the government to try to end the three-week standoff were taking shape. For more on the events in Hong Kong, CCTV's Peng joins me now. And we've seen clashes once again in the city's Mong Kok area. Tell us more about this.
Well, yes, Susan, new clashes between protesters and police broke out overnight in Mong Kok. It seems that violence and tensions this time are escalating to a new level. Demonstrators have started wearing safety equipment in front of the police. A van filled with gear, including 50 helmets, hundreds of face masks, and first aid kits, arrived at Longham Palace. The latest clash took place despite reported progress between the students and the governments to hash out a solution to bring the 3-week of the street unrest to an end. Authorities announced that 5 official representatives will talk to 5 student leaders on Tuesday, and the meeting will be broadcast live on TV. It is unclear whether Saturday's unrest in Mong Kok will have a negative impact on the current momentum for compromise. Susan?
Tell us how the public there is reacting to all this violence, the people who are not participating.
Well, people are actually divided on this issue here in Hong Kong. The occupiers have been able to gather in the thousands at one time, as we have already seen in many reports. But there are also others trying to organize an anti-Occupy movement. The two camps are now frequently seen on the streets engaged in heated arguments, actually. Many of the anti-Occupy protesters say they are simply fed up with the declining social order and the paralyzed traffic and business. Let's take a look. This is what Hong Kong commuters now face every day, as thousands of Occupy Central protesters try to stand their ground. Even after midnight, the journey home for these commuters is just beginning. In a city proud of its mass transit system, these sudden stoppages have become a possibility at any time and anywhere. We took a bus trip downtown with driver Liang Kin In. Even miles away from where protesters are gathered, traffic flow is slow.
The roads are simply impassable now. The length of each of our routes has doubled and even tripled. Every day we work overtime and try not to eat or go to the toilet to save time and finish all the routes. Still, many passengers call our hotlines and complain about our delays. But what can we do?
Occupy protesters are gathered at 3 major sites: Mong Kok, Causeway Bay, and Central. In each area, they've blockaded roads, cutting off the lifelines that link the city's different districts. The problem has been made worse because in Hong Kong, many routes are served by minibuses like the one driven by Liang, which have a limit of only 16 passengers. At each stop, long lines of passengers wait for buses that seem never to come. Many of these commuters travel every day between their central offices and suburban apartments. Going to work has now become a long and daily battle.
So many people still occupy Causeway Bay. So maybe the traffic, some problem.
How long have you been waiting here?
A little bit longer than maybe half hour, 45 minutes, something like that.
Hong Kong's second largest bus company, AMS, says the protests have not only disrupted their business, but also average life.
Every people have the right to express their interests. But the first thing is they must comply with the law and order. The second thing is that it should not upset the normal life of normal citizens.
Attempts by Hong Kong police to clear the roads and restore traffic have often been met with heavy resistance from occupiers, occasionally violent. Shortly after that, the occupiers reclaimed the crossroads and once again blocked the traffic. As the blockades continue, no one is sure how long the situation will last and how many more people will be impacted. Hong Kong police say they strongly condemn those who participate in unlawful assembly, confront police, and illegally occupy major thoroughfares of the city. They say they've been very tolerant in the past few days to the unlawful acts, but the protesters show no sign of backing down and are getting increasingly radical and violent. Susan?
Peng, live in Hong Kong. Thank you for that.